So the question is like that. আমাদের কোশ্চেনটা যেটা ছিল সেটা ছিল যে we are considering this, you can say 2 cross 2 grid. That means if the grid is like that, this is the grid, and the question is that we can move either down or either we can move right. So if we just either move down or right, so we know there are 6 possible ways. There are 6 possible ways. So now if you consider the path, if you consider the path, so what we find that in a 2 cross 2 grid, the all the paths, all the, you can say all the paths that are, say, either down down right right, the second path may be down right, third may be down right down, fourth may be right down, the fifth is down right, and the sixth is right down. So there are 6 possible paths, and based of the example, what we can see that all paths have exactly size 2n, of which there are n r's and n d's. That means what we find that based on the example, what we can see, we can see that all paths have, you can say exactly, all paths can have exactly size is 2n, and total size is 2n. If we take this is the 2n, then what we find that of which there are, you can say in r's and in these টোটাল পাথ দেখো প্রত্যেকটার ক্ষেত্রেই 2n, তার মধ্যে দেখো দুটো d দুটো r থাকবে, তার মানে এক্স্যাক্টলি যদি সাইজ 2n হয় প্রত্যেকটা, তার মধ্যে there are n r's এবং n d's থাকবে. That means if we 2n empty spaces and we have to place all r's, then the placement of d are given. That means total is, you can say 2n. If we say the combinations, then what we get, that this is the 2n, and we have to place n because there are n, you can say r and n d's. So the formula you can derive like that, 2n cn. 2n is the total path among which you have to place n. That means how many ways we can choose n out of 2n possible places. That is the meaning of that. That means this is the combinations, and this is nothing but how many, you can say how many ways. So you can formulate the problem like that, how many ways we can, you can say choose n out of 2n possible places. If the order does not matter, if the order does not matter, that actually we get from these 6 combinations. You just see the order does not matter, and that is nothing but, you can say, that is, you can say 2n factorial by n factorial by n factorial. That is your formula. Now if you just implement this thing, then you will find that you will get the answer. This is nothing but, you can say just finding the factorial, nothing but that. But there is also another thing. That means if you say you can say integer, you can say the grid size is, you can say 20, and the thing is that, and say we are taking long int path equals to 1, and we are just writing for loop integer I equals to 0, I less than the grid size and I plus plus. It will be better if we write long unsigned, that will be better. And the thing is that we have to find the paths, and path star, the formula is 2 grid size. If you simplify that, then we will just, if we write the program, then we can get the answer. So that is the nothing but that you can do it, or any, this is nothing but you can say, if you know that is the binomial coefficient, that is called binomial coefficient. And if you search in net that any program with binomial coefficients, that will give the answer. So in that particular problem, what I try to say, that the thing is that the problem will be given like that, but if you can derive the particular formula, then you can solve it easily. That is the main thing that you need to know, because the problem is, there are different types of problems that are given, but you have to implement it. And the thing is that when you have to implement is, you have to derive a particular formula. So whatever be the thing, so that is the corresponding thing why we choose 2 and Cn, that is the reason behind that. So now today we will discuss about the pointers and as well as the pointer with array. So before going to that, you should remember the thing like that. You just watch carefully. If you not, it is, if some part is not understandable, just tell me. So the thing is that, that is, you can say the precedence of dereferencing operator. You can say the precedence of dereferencing, you can say operator, dereferencing operator, and increment and decrement operator, and you can say increment and decrement operator. So the thing is that we know the precedence level of star operator, that means the precedence, you can say level of the star operator, and increment or decrement, increment or you can say decrement operator is same, operator is same, and their associativity, and you can say their associativity is from right to left. That means since the precedence is same, that means then you have to check the associativity, that means whether it will operate from right to left or it will operate from left to right. So there can be confusion while combining this operator in pointer expressions. So we should use them carefully. Say, because if we write like that, you will face like that, that start ptr is a pointer, that should be written like that, or x equals to star, that is a plus plus ptr, x equals to plus plus star ptr, and x equals to, you can say star ptr, and this is plus plus. So now the thing is, you have to derive each and everything. That means the first thing is x equals to star ptr plus plus. What does it mean? That means what should be the equivalent expression in that particular case. What does it mean? It means that what we can say, in that particular case, when x equals to star ptr plus plus, what does it mean? It means that first the value of x is assigned, that means star ptr, that is the value of this ptr will be first assigned in x, and then the ptr will be incremented ptr plus 1. I am explaining that with an example, then it should be clear to you. And what is the meaning of that? The 2, that means we are writing x equals to star plus plus ptr. This is the expression. What does it mean? It means that it will be operate like that. In that particular case, you can say it will be operate like that. This is ptr plus plus. Then what do you mean by that? ptr plus plus means this first the ptr value will be assigned, star ptr value will be assigned in x, then the ptr value will be incremented. In that particular case, that is like that, plus plus star ptr. Then what does it mean? That means in that particular case, you can say I am writing wrong, this is not, so this is star plus plus ptr, so it is nothing but star, and that is plus plus ptr. Then what we mean by that? That means first this is a plus plus ptr, that means the ptr will be incremented first, that means ptr will be incremented first, and then the value of start ptr will be assigned in x. That is the case. In the third thing is that x equals to plus plus star ptr. So actually you can write this equivalently, this plus plus and this is nothing but star ptr, because you can say that in that particular case the associativity is from right to left. So what does it mean? That means when there is a star and this increment or decrement operator, if the associativity is from right to left, then what will happen? First star ptr plus plus will be operate first and then star. In that case also plus plus will be operate first and then star. In that case also star ptr and then plus plus. So what does it mean? It means actually star ptr is equals to star ptr plus 1 and x is equals to, you can say, star ptr. So the first that will be incremented because this is a star ptr, so that value will be incremented, then is assigned into x. That is the meaning of that. And the last thing that we write, you can say the fourth one, that is x equals to, that is given, this is star ptr plus plus, and since it is already been bracketized, that means first the value of x will be assigned star ptr and then this star ptr will be incremented star ptr plus 1. Now we will take an example and I think it would be clear to all of you. If it's not clear, then you can ask me. Thing is that initially say this is a simple array of 2 elements, this is 25 and say this is 38 is given, that is any element, and ptr is pointing in the first element, and say the starting address is 2000. Since the integer will take 4 byte, we will say that integer will take 4 byte, so the next location is nothing but 2004. That is the thing. Now for the first case, when we are writing x is equals to star ptr plus plus. So what I am saying, what is the meaning of that star ptr plus plus? That means first the, because we are bracketizing like that, it would be bracketizing like that, star, this is a ptr plus plus, what is the meaning of is same, and what is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is the value of x, that means the value of ptr will be assigned to x and then the ptr will be incremented to ptr plus 1. So in that particular example what will happen? So what is the star ptr? In the previous class I am telling that this is value as ptr. So now ptr is, so value at ptr is pointing at location 2000, so you can say it will give you 25. So what will happen? Now the value of x is 25. And now PTR will be incremented PTR plus 1, that is the difference between pointer arithmetic and normal increment. We are adding 1, but since we are using pointer and this particular pointer is integer pointer, that means we are shifting the corresponding data byte. Because we are using integer and integer take 4 bytes, so when you are incrementing PTR to PTR plus 1, what does it mean? That means actually now the PTR is, you can say, is now new locations, which is called 2004. It is not 2001. Just remember the thing. When you are saying, when this is called pointer arithmetic, this is plus 1. Actually it is evaluated like that. This is 1 that should be multiplied by the corresponding data type size. Here we are using integer, so initially the PTR is 2000 and we are multiplying 4 because the size of integer is 4, so the next location is 2004. That means in that particular case what we find, that now the PTR, this is 25, this is a 38, this is 2000. Now the PTR will pointing this location, and the thing is that PTR is now pointing this location, and this is 2004. So the thing is, you just remember the thing, that means PTR will now pointing this 38, and X is always, X in that particular case is 25. So is it clear? If you have any confusion, you can tell me. So in the next case, I am starting from first we are drawing the diagram because it will be helpful for you. That initially that is, you can say 25, it is 38, it is 2000, it is 2004, and PTR is a pointer that is pointing to these locations. Now the thing is that it is written X equals to star plus PTR, and what I am saying, when we have to write this, since the evaluation will from right to left, and since because this star and plus has both have same precedence, তার মানে কোনটাকে আগে ইউজ করব আমি জানি না, তাই জন্য আমি কি বললাম, যখন পয়েন্টারের এটা সেম হয়ে যাবে তখন আমি কি করলাম, রাইট টু লেফট আমি কি করব, আমি এটাকে এভালুয়েট করা শুরু করব। তার মানে কি হলো, রাইট টু লেফট মানে এক্ষেত্রে যদি এভালুয়েট করি তাহলে আমি এটা বুঝতে পারছি, ইট উইল বি equivalently evaluated like that, তার মানে plus PTR, it will be evaluated like that, and the thing is that যদি এটা evaluated হয় তার মানে PTR এর ভ্যালু আগে বাড়বে। আমরা কি বলেছিলাম, যে PTR এর ভ্যালু বেড়ে কত হলো, PTR plus 1, এবং তারপরে কি হলো, স্টার PTR টাকে x এর ভ্যালুর মধ্যে ঢুকে যাচ্ছে। তার মানে কি হলো, in that particular case what will happen, if we draw the diagram like that, what will happen, this PTR will be incremented, and when the PTR will be incremented, it will shifting the corresponding data type. That means now this PTR will be pointing at that particular locations. That means PTR will now contain, that is 2004, and the value of this PTR is 38, because this term means we can say value at PTR, and now the PTR pointing value at 2004, that means it's nothing but 38. So the X value is, in that particular case, is 38. So yes, X equals to 38. So the thing is that is the case, and the third case we will again draw the diagram such that it will be understandable, that is 25, this is 38, initially this is 2000, this is 2004, and say PTR is pointing there. So next is nothing but X is equals to plus star PTR. So again this plus and star have the same precedence, so we have to evaluate from right to left, then you can say the same expressions, it can be bracketized like that, we can bracketize like that. And the thing is that, what is the meaning of that, that means this star PTR will be incremented, because this is star PTR and plus. If there is a plus I, then what we have to do, we have to first increment the value of I. In that case also the same thing, this is a star PTR, that means what we have to do, star PTR will be incremented star ptr plus 1, and then the value of x is assigned. Then what will happen? What is the star ptr meaning? The star ptr meaning is value at ptr. So value at ptr, if you say what should be the value at ptr, the value at ptr, this is nothing but you are incrementing the value of ptr. Initially the value of ptr is 25 because ptr is pointing there. So this 25 will be added and it becomes 26 now. So that statement means actually you are changing the content of this, because you are star ptr, and you know star ptr means we are changing the value of the ptr, and then this particular value will be assigned at x. So this is the meaning of that. So I think that is understandable. The thing is that what so the thing is that that is the case. And is it clear? I think so. And the fourth case is like that. We are again doing the same thing. That means we are back to the initial value, and this is the ptr, and this is the 2000, and this is 2004. So now this is given that x equals to star ptr, and this is nothing but plus plus. So what does it mean? That means the initially the value of the ptr will be assigned there, because this is a পরে plus plus আছে, তার মানে আগে the value of ptr star ptr will be assigned at x and then it will be incremented. That means তারপরে কি হবে, that will be incremented like that. Then in that particular case what will happen? In that particular case, if you consider the case, then the thing is happen that the value of x is star ptr. That means star ptr means value at ptr. That is nothing but you can say value at ptr means 2000, and it is nothing but 25 will be assigned in x, and then this will be incremented. That means value of ptr will be incremented, and now it becomes 26. That means it becomes 26, but x is 25 because it will be assigned first and then the increment operator operates like that. So this is the 4 examples, and that would be one of the thing you can say, one of the example that you face every time. So now we are going to back to the array. That means say it is given that integer a 5 and the thing is that the data is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, and this is 50. It is given, and this is given that say base address, that means base address of an array is 100. That means মনে রাখবে C তে in C only the base address of an array is being stored. মানে ধরো আমাকে যদি ধরো এতগুলো ক্লাসকে মেনটেন করতে হয়, আমি ধরো ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, থার্ড ইয়ারে ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, ফিফথ ইয়ারে ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, দ্য থিং ইজ দ্যাট it is not possible for me to give the informations that I want to propagate to all of the student. মানে আমি প্রত্যেকটা স্টুডেন্টকে আলাদা আলাদাভাবে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি মেসেজ করি না। দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমরা কি করি, প্রত্যেকটা ক্লাসের একটা সিআর রাখি। তার মানে আমি জানি if I can access the CR's numbers, তাহলে I can access the any students in that particular class. So the array তে base address হচ্ছে like that CR এর মতো। মানে array তে C তে কি করে, শুধুমাত্র তোমার যে কম্পাইলার সে শুধু বেস অ্যাড্রেসটাকে স্টোর করে, বাকি কিছুকে স্টোর করার দরকার হয় না বা স্টোরও করে না। এটা হচ্ছে C তে বৈশিষ্ট্য। এবং যদি ও বেস অ্যাড্রেসটা পেয়ে যায় তাহলে ও কি করে, কম্পিউট করে বাকি অ্যাড্রেসগুলোকে খুঁজে বার করে নিতে পারে। মানে বেস অ্যাড্রেসটা কি হয়, প্রত্যেকটা অ্যারের জন্য ফিক্স থাকে এবং শুধু বেস অ্যাড্রেসকেই আমরা ধরে রাখি। মানে আমার ক্ষেত্রে যেমন যদি তুমি ধরো যে আমার ক্লাসের সিআর এর নাম্বারগুলো আমার কাছে আছে, এবার আমার যদি কোনো ইনফরমেশন বা কোনো স্টুডেন্টকে দরকার হয়, আমি কি করি, সিআরকে বলি, সিআর কি করে সেটাকে কম্পিউট করে স্টুডেন্টটাকে বার করে আমায় রেজাল্টসটা দেয়। সো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য সেম কেস, দ্যাট এখানেও কি করে, সিতে শুধুমাত্র মনে রাখবে যে বেস অ্যাড্রেসটাই শুধু স্টোর করা হয়। that is the one of the important concept. So এখানে কি অ্যারে হচ্ছে 5 and the elements is 10 20 30 40 50 আমি যদি 5 নাও লিখতাম তাও কিন্তু কোনো অসুবিধা হতো না, because of that the elements are already been given. So if we just write the array should be written like that. So the name of the array is A, the elements are like that 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40 and this is 50, and say the index is, this is A0 index, this is A1 index, this is A2 index, this is A3 index, this is A4 index, and the base address is 100. That is the base address of an array. Now the thing is that, say in our compiler the size of integer is 4 byte. That is the size of integer. If this is the 4 byte, then the next locations is 104, in next location is 108, next location is 112, and the next location is 116. Now the thing is that, say we want to access A3 element. Now if we want to access A3 element, how it will be accessed by an array? That is, it will be accessed by using pointer. That means it will be accessed like that, A plus 3 into data byte, size of the data byte. That means how it can access? That is, the base address of an array is 100, this is 3, and we know we are storing integer data, so integer has size, you can say 4, so it is 112. What do you mean by 112? That means value at 112. So value at 112 is, you can say, that is nothing but 40. So we will get this A3 element as 40. So internally the array will be computed like that. It will, when you are writing like that, if you want to print any element, what you are writing? You are writing %d, the value, like say A3, then your program will give output 40, but internally that will be computed like that. That means A3 will be computed by the using of, you can say, pointer arithmetic. That is called pointer arithmetic. And since it is faster, so you just remember the thing that to access, you can say, an element from an array will, you can say, take constant time. That means it is take constant time, and this is faster. Of course this is faster. Now what we can say that, so what we write, if we write AI, then mathematically it would be written like that, A plus I, and you know the plus operation is commutative, and commutative means we can write I plus A also, because A plus I has the same value as I plus A, so we can write IA also. That means whenever you write AI or IA, that will give you the same results, that will give you the same results. You just say the, you can say, that is the meaning of that. That means whenever you write AB, B is another element, say, that means it will be computed like that, A plus B, or since plus operation is commutative, you can write BA, or this is PA. That means this and this will give you the same value, that will give you the same value, like that. The thing is that, like that, if you just want to print this value, say this, we are writing 5, and within this array we are writing interview, say inter. So what is the output of this? If you say what should be the output of this program, it will give you output as V. It will give you the output V. This is interview. That means this is 1 2 3 4, you can say 5. That means this is a 0th location, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, like that. Whatever your result will be, give A5, that will be the same as that. When you want to access the index A5, that is same as that. The output you can say it will give v. তোমরা দেখবে printf দিয়ে রান করিয়ে আউটপুট কি দেখায়। Or I am writing a program, you just tell me what should be the output, say integer main, and the thing is that say character, this is, I'm not writing the full name, integer I, say we are writing for I is equals to 0, and say si when it is not equals to null. We will later we will see what is the meaning of that. And the thing is that we want to printf, this is backslash n, %c, %c, and %c. We are printing the value of si, s plus I, or star I plus a, or is. So what should be the output of this? What would you think? সৃজা আউটপুট কি হবে বলে মনে হয়?
যখন আমি s of I চাইছি then so d then address of e এর যে অ্যাড্রেসটা and then
আচ্ছা দেখো এখানে কিন্তু the thing is that এটা একটু ভালো করে দেখো, the thing is that this is the s array, this is the character array, মানে এখানে কি আছে, this is de ba, and since we are using double inverted comma, you just remember the thing, that means the last is automatically padded with this null character. This is a null character, this is automatically, we are not doing anything, it is inbuilt C operations, that when we are written anything within this double quote, that means the last is embedded with null character, and that is, you know, that is the s0th location, that is the s1 location, this is the s2 location, s3 location, and that is s4 locations. And if this is 100, then the, since we are storing character, it is 101, because character will take only one byte. This is 102, this is 103, this is 104. Now the thing is, when you I value is 0, initially I value is 0, then we are printing si, that means this is nothing but s0. So what is the s0? That is d, that is d, this is printing d. And what I am saying, that si, that can be same as written as star s plus I, or that is same as I plus s, or that is same as is. That means in fourth case also that will print d d d like that, because এই চারটে তো একই জিনিস, এটাও যা প্রিন্ট করবে, এটাও যা প্রিন্ট করবে, এটাও যা প্রিন্ট করবে, এটাও যা প্রিন্ট করবে, সেটাই তো আমি আগে তোমাদের বোঝালাম, যে ai যা প্রিন্ট করবে, a প্লাস io স্টার যা প্রিন্ট করবে, স্টার অফ i প্লাস ao তাই প্রিন্ট করবে, i ao একই জিনিসই প্রিন্ট করবে। তার মানে এখানে যে প্রিন্টটা হবে, দ্যাট উইল অলওয়েজ প্রিন্ট ডি ডি ডি। তার মানে আউটপুট কি হবে, ফার্স্টে ডি 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 প্রিন্ট করলো, তারপরে ইনক্রিমেন্ট করলো, কারণ যতক্ষণ না নাল পায় ততক্ষণ চলবে, ইনক্রিমেন্ট করলে ইতে গেল, i এর ভ্যালু 1 হয়, তাহলে ও আবার কি করবে, s1, that is nothing but that will print e, that means এখানে ব্ল্যাক স্ল্যাশ n আছে, তার মানে নিচে
তো তারপরে আবার চারটে e প্রিন্ট করছে বেসিক্যালি।
ওকে, চারটে e প্রিন্ট করবে, দেন চারটে b প্রিন্ট করবে,
চারটে b দেন চারটে a,
so that is the corresponding output. Okay, is it clear? So
yes sir.
Okay, so the thing is that like that, and বাকিরা বুঝতে পেরেছো?
Yes sir.
Okay, very good. So the thing is that that is the one of the thing, or I am giving another program, just tell me what should be the output. If we write like that, integer main, we are writing say character star p, and say we are writing printf %d, this is %d, size of, you can say star p, and that is, you can say, size of p, size of star p and size of p. In that particular case তাহলে আউটপুট কি হবে? Somrit, what should be the output of this?
Sir, 1,1.
1,1. Why? এটা 1, এটা 1 বলছে।
আমি ক্যারেক্টারের মানে
দেখো, তুমি যখন এটা প্রিন্ট করছো, এটা মানে কি? ভ্যালু অ্যাট পি, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ।
তো ভ্যালু অ্যাট পি কি? দিস পি ইজ ডিফাইন্ড বাই ক্যারেক্টার, তার মানে ক্যারেক্টারের সাইজ।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এক্স্যাক্টলি, হ্যাঁ।
But when you are printing p, what is this? This is the size of pointer. p টা কি? p টা তো পয়েন্টার, because you are declaring character star p. Pointer মানে কি? What is the definition of pointer? Pointer এর definition ছিল, the definition of pointer, that pointer is a variable which stores the, you can say, address of another variable. That is the definition. তার মানে পয়েন্টারের ভিতরে সবসময় অ্যাড্রেস থাকবে। আর অ্যাড্রেস মানে কি? অ্যাড্রেস মানে is always been integer, because we are writing 2000, we are writing 1000, whatever be the thing. That means this is size of the pointer is nothing but the size of the address. Okay, and size of the address means size of the integer. তার মানে যখনই দেখবে in any program তোমাকে যদি ঘুরিয়ে ফিরিয়ে পয়েন্টার কে প্রিন্ট করতে দেয়, তাহলে প্রিন্ট পয়েন্টারের সাইজ কিন্তু সেই সিস্টেমটার ইন্টিজারের সাইজ হবে। তার মানে আমরা এখানে যেহেতু ইন্টিজারের সাইজ ইজ টেকেন অ্যাজ 4, so the output should be 1 and that will print you 4. Okay,
4. Okay,
okay
सर।
yes
सर, उसको तो सर पी में तो उसका बेस एड्रेस प्रिंट नहीं होता है सर।
हाँ, बेस एड्रेस मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पे तो
बेस एड्रेस तो उसका कितना होना है?
बेस एड्रेस मतलब क्या है? बेस एड्रेस जो भी होना चाहिए, वो तो मेमोरी का लोकेशन है। तो
हाँ सर, तो
मेमोरी का लोकेशन तो हर टाइम भी इंटीजर ही होगा। मतलब whether it is a base address,
एक्चुअल में वो 4 प्रिंट करेगा।
हाँ, एक्चुअल में 4 प्रिंट करेगा, क्योंकि 4 क्यों प्रिंट करेगा? किंतु उसका साइज तो मेमोरी का साइज है, और मेमोरी का साइज तो हर कंप्यूटर में इंटीजर का साइज होता है।
अच्छा सर, आप जो ऊपर लिखे सर कैरेक्टर हो स्टार पी, सर वो तो मतलब आपका पॉइंटर इनिशियलाइज नहीं है, तो वो कैसे मतलब वो करेगा?
वो तो करने का जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने तो वो स्टार नोटेशन से यूज किया है। स्टार नोटेशन यूज का मतलब ही है, मतलब वी आर यूजिंग एज ए पॉइंटर, मतलब पी पॉइंटर के काम करेगा। मतलब मैंने इनिशियलाइज नहीं किया, लेकिन ये तो डिक्लेयर किया जो पी इज ए पॉइंटर, बिकॉज वी आर स्टार। इसलिए पॉइंटर मतलब क्या है? वो पॉइंटर होने से ही उसको तो मालूम हो जाएगा ये पॉइंटर डिक्लेयर किया है, इसलिए उसका जो एड्रेस रहेगा वो एड्रेस ही उसका साइज होगा। और एड्रेस का मतलब क्या है? दैट इज नथिंग बट इंटीजर का साइज। तो सिस्टम का इंटीजर का साइज जैसा रहेगा वो वैसा ही प्रिंट करेगा। ठीक है?
हाँ सर, ठीक, यस सर।
Okay, so now the thing is that if we write the program, tell me what should be the output. If we writing like that, say void main printf, say size of void start, that is size of void start. We can say printf size of integer star, so we can say size of printf size of double star %d, size of what we can say double star and printf size of this is another data type which is structure. I am not describing this, but this is some percentage backslash n, and we are writing size of this struct unknown star. So the thing is that, so what do you think, what should be the output of this? Is it given some output, and what should be the output?
सर void का तो 0 होगा सर,
void का 0 होगा, integer का
8 का 4 होना चाहिए सर।
ओके, और स्ट्रक्चर को तो अननोन है इसलिए नहीं निकलेगा, यही बात है।
हाँ
ओके
हाँ
ये
सर।
ओके, तो सृजा व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन?
প্রথম void star যখন when I'm saying void star is it printing void is a data type, so is it printing size of voided with data type এর size?
না, এখানে এটাই তো তোমার আগেরটা আর এটার মধ্যে তফাৎ কিছুই নেই, তুমি ভালো করে দেখো। আগেরটা আমি কি প্রিন্ট করতে বলেছি, we are printing the size of pointer, এখানে আমি কি প্রিন্ট করতে বলেছি, same as that পয়েন্টারের সাইজ, তাই না? we are printing the void star, we are not printing star void, this is the size of the pointer, তাই না? the size of the pointer is always integer because pointer যাই হোক না কেন, পয়েন্টার তো সবসময় একটা মেমোরি অ্যাড্রেসকে স্টোর করবে, পয়েন্টারের ডেফিনেশনই তো সেটা, যে পয়েন্টার উইল অলওয়েজ স্টোর, পয়েন্টার ইজ আ ভেরিয়েবল হুইচ স্টোরস দ্য অ্যাড্রেস অফ অ্যানাদার ভেরিয়েবল। তার মানে what would be the pointer, the internal value of the pointer is always being a memory location, and memory locations মানে সেটা একটা ইন্টিজার হবে। তার মানে in the 4 case also this is nothing but the pointer of different type, nothing but that are pointer, so pointer to any type is of the same size. Okay, so the thing is that the pointer to any type you can say is of the same size, that you should remember. তাই অনেক রকম ঘুরিয়ে ফিরিয়ে কোশ্চেন আসতে পারে, বাট দ্য থিং ইজ যদি দেখো সাইজ অফ দ্য পয়েন্টার তাহলে নির্দ্বিধায় লিখে দেবে ইট ইজ দ্য সাইজ অফ দ্য মেমোরি লোকেশনস। যদি তোমাদের সাইজ ইন্টিজারের সাইজ স্পেসিফিক্যালি দেওয়া থাকে 2 বাইট বা 4 বাইট, আমরা সেই অনুযায়ী লিখব, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য সেম থিং। নাও দ্য থিং ইজ দ্যাট,
तो सर एक्सक्यूज मी सर,
यस
सर ना तो मतलब सर ये मतलब इनिशियल वैल्यूज का 4 होता है पॉइंटर जो मतलब एज अ वेरिएबल का,
एज ए वेरिएबल मतलब ये तो पॉइंटर मैंने डिक्लेयर किया, लाइक दैट इफ यू डिक्लेयर लाइक ए void you can say star p, okay, then what is p? P is a pointer, okay,
हाँ सर
now
पॉइंटर
when you are
वेरिएबल है सर।
when you are writing star p, that means that value at p, मतलब ये स्टार पी रहने से तुमको ये पॉइंटर का अंदर में जो void रहेगा void का साइज देगा, ठीक है, लेकिन p तो पॉइंटर है, सो p पॉइंटर का मतलब क्या है, p will always be in memory location, p तो हर टाइम मेमोरी लोकेशन ही होगा, मतलब इसका साइज हर टाइम क्या होगा, इंटीजर का साइज ही होगा, समझ में आया? when we are printing star p,
हाँ तो सर
बोलो।
हाँ सर, तो अगर नल पॉइंटर से यूज करते तो उसका क्या होगा सर मेमोरी लोकेशन?
नहीं, नाल पॉइंटर तो दूसरा कंसेप्ट है, नाल पॉइंटर देयर इज ए वाइल्ड पॉइंटर, दिस ऑल लॉट्स ऑफ पॉइंटर्स आर देयर, that is a different concept. Null pointer means this is point to nothing, okay, so that is a different concept, but in that particular case you just remember the thing that when you have to printing the size of the pointer, whether it is a null pointer or something, if it is a pointer then it should point a memory locations, that means it will print the address if we print the address, that means this is nothing but the size of integer. That means depending on the system configurations, it will always print the size of integer. That is the basic thing.
सर
मतलब
सर अगर पॉइंटर अगर वेरिएबल हुआ तो सर उसका भी बेस एड्रेस होना चाहिए?
नहीं, पॉइंटर का बेस एड्रेस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पॉइंटर का तो एक ही एड्रेस है. इफ वी आर यूजिंग एरे, देयर इज मल्टीपल लोकेशंस, देन वी हैव टू यूज बेस एड्रेस. तुम जोगेश एक है, तो मेरे तो सीआर का तो जरूरत नहीं है, जोगेश का ही एड्रेस मेरे पास रहने से ही काफी है. लेकिन जोगेश एक क्लास में रहने से, इफ देयर आर 50 स्टूडेंट्स, देन आई शुड नो द सीआर एड्रेस, because আমার পক্ষে we cannot actually remember all the 15 student address. So it is better to just know the single address of the seer, and I am telling everything to the seer, and seer will compute and they will find the corresponding student address. Is it clear? मतलब एक वेरिएबल का मतलब क्या है, एक तो जोगेश है, उसका तो नॉर्मल एड्रेस ही रहेगा, लेकिन एक एरे रहने से,
यस सर, ठीक रहेगा.
उस एरे रहने से उसका बेस एड्रेस रहेगा. ठीक है?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, so now the thing is that if we write integer a like that, we are writing 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, say this is 50, this is 60, it is given. So if we want to print the size of a, that will give you 24, because here the elements is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and size of the integer is 4 byte, so it will give 24. That means when you are printing the size of a, that means it will give the size of the whole array. If we can say integer will take 4 bytes. Now the thing is that it may be possible that the program is written like that, after that you are saying %d and then you are a plus plus. Then what should be the output of this, Samrit? An array is declared and then you want to print like that %d a plus plus. What do you think? What should be the output of this? বলতে পারবে?
না স্যার।
আচ্ছা, the thing is that আমরা কি বললাম, that will give you compilation error, that will give you compilation error, because what is the meaning of a plus plus? That means we are incrementing the base address. If we incrementing the base address, then the other element cannot be found. That means I am a teacher, I only know the student's CR address. If somewhere you are changing the CR, that means I cannot find any of the students, because I have only CR address. If CR will change his mobile number, then I cannot access all other students. That is also the same case. That means when you are implementing the base address, the base address will be lost, and that cannot be permitted by your compiler. So the thing is that if we want to increment the base address, that means if we want to, you can say, increment the base address, if we want to increment the base address, compiler will give compilation error. You can say compiler will give, you can say, compilation error, compilation error. Why? Because in C you can say compiler, you can say only store base address, only store base address, so we cannot change base address. So you can say we cannot change, you can say, base address, we cannot change base address. Now the thing is, let's do a problem and say what should be the output of this. So the thing is that, say we are just doing a simple problem such that it is understandable to all of you. So we are writing integer a5 and that is given 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and integer star p is equals to a. We are writing for p is less than equals to, you can say less than equals to a plus 4 and this is p plus plus and we are printing the value star p. সৃজন ভালো করে দেখবে, যদি না বুঝতে পারো আমায় বলবে। দিস ইজ দ্য প্রোগ্রাম। এটা তোমাদের পরীক্ষায় এরকম থাকে বা গেটেও এরকম থাকে বা যে কোনো কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামে থাকে বা ইন্টারভিউতে জিজ্ঞেস করে and you have to tell what should be the output. Now the thing is, initially আমি এই জিনিসটা বুঝিয়ে দিচ্ছি তোমায়। The thing is that this is an array. If this is an array, the array name is A and there is 5 elements, that means 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index and 4 index. The element is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40 and 50 and say the base address is 100, so the next location is 104, next is 108, 112 and 116 because we take the size of integer is 4 byte. Now this is the first step is done. In the second step, star p is a pointer which is storing the base address of a. Star p means value of p is a. P means pointer, star p means value at p and it is storing the address of a. A means base address. So if p is a pointer, say p has in some other locations, it may be some 500 locations say, and p will store, you can say that p will store, what should be the, it will be better, p will store the base address. That means the base address of this particular array is 100. That means p is now pointing to this. This is the pictorial diagram after second statement. Now initialization is done in the previous statement, so we are blank this initialization statement in for loop. Your program will run up to p when the value of p is less than a plus 4. So the value of p is 100 and what is a for 4? A plus 4, that means what we can say, a is 100 and since we are doing pointer arithmetic, that means 4 should be multiplied with the corresponding data type, that means it is 116. That means your loop will run up to 116. আমরা আগেও বলেছি পয়েন্টারে যখন যোগ বা বিয়োগ করা হয়, যোগ করা মানে তার করসপন্ডিং ডেটা টাইপ দিয়ে গুণ করা, যদি ভাগ করা বিয়োগ করা হয় দ্যাট মিন্স তার করসপন্ডিং ডেটা টাইপ দিয়ে ভাগ করা। এখানে ইন্টিজারের সাইজ 4 বাইট, তাই 4 কে আমি গুণ করেছি 4 দিয়ে, তার মানে your program will run up to 100 when 100 is less than equals to 116 it will run. And when we are incrementing p plus plus, that means since we are incrementing the pointer, that means it will goes to the next location, that means 104, then 108, then 112. It is not adding plus 1, it is adding the corresponding data type and we are printing star p. So of course in that particular thing, if you find that 100 is less than 116, that is correct, that means this condition is correct and we have to print star p, and we have to print star p means this is nothing but value at p. Now the p is pointing to 100, that means value at 100, value at 100 is 10. So the output is nothing but first is 10. Now p is incremented. If p is incremented, now what will happen? If you say the p is incremented, then what we can say, now this pointer will be incremented and it will pointing to these locations. So now this 100 will store 104, that means 104, and we are checking the same condition whether 104 is less than equals to 116. This condition is correct and it will printing the p, that means you can say value at 104, that means it will printing 20. So the next step, the output is 20. In the third step, if we talking about the third step, what we can say, p is again incremented, that means now p will be incremented and it will pointing to these locations, that means this particular location has 108, and again this 108 is less than equals to 116, and it will print, you can say, value at 108, and value at 108 is 30, so it will print 30. So it will goes on and goes on, and until and unless, you can say, it will reach, you can say it can reach this locations, that means after printing 50, that means again it will print 40 and 50, and after 50 it will again 112 and then 116, and again it will be incremented and it goes to 120. But since this 120 is less than equals to 116, that become false and it will out of the for loop. So it will print 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So is it clear?
हेलो सर।
Yes.
सर अगर फॉर लूप वाला स्टेटमेंट हटा देते और जस्ट ए प्रिंट करते तो उसका आउटपुट क्या आएगा?
ए प्रिंट करते मतलब ए तो डायरेक्टली प्रिंट नहीं कर सकते, एक प्रिंट करते मतलब ए का वैल्यू बेस एड्रेस मतलब फर्स्ट लोकेशंस का वैल्यू है वही प्रिंट करेगा,
10 प्रिंट करेगा।
10 प्रिंट करेगा।
अच्छा सर, और A5 प्रिंट करेंगे सर तो
A5 तो नहीं है, यहाँ पे A4 तक है, मतलब there are 5 fifth locations are there,
हाँ,
but rest of the elements are not given. If it is not given, then automatically it is padded with 0. If it is not given, then it is padded with 0. That means in the next step, if we say that what I am saying, that say we are writing, say integer a6, and we are writing like that 10, 20, 30, 40. What it signifies? It signifies that there are 6 elements, but we are giving only 4 elements. That means what will happen? This is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, and the rest of the is 0, 0. That means this is a A0 locations, this is 1 locations, this is A2 locations, this is A3 locations, A4 locations, and A5 locations. And if you want to access this, because there are 6 elements are there, and if you want to access the last element, there is no issue, because this is 104, this is 108, this is 112, this is 116, this is 120. If we want to print the last element, if you see, this is 1 plus 5 star corresponding data type, and the value of A is 100 and this is 20, so this is 120. That means you can say value at 120, that is 0, value of 120, that is 0. Okay, what is the meaning of this? This means there are how much elements are there, that is the meaning of that. So now tell me, if we write like that, integer star a is equals to say 10, 20, we can write 30, 40. Now if we want to print the size of a, then what should be the size of a in that particular case? Jogesh, what should be the output?
So इसका 10, 10, 20, 30, 40 होगा सर।
आउटपुट कैसे होगा? तुम तो साइज दे रहे हो, आउटपुट में तो साइज दे रहे हो। साइज का मतलब क्या है? दैट विल गिव यू साइज ऑफ द डेटा टाइप। ओके, साइज मतलब क्या है? पहले वाला if this is given like that, if we write like that 10, 20, 30, 40, and there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. If we want to print size of A, so there are 4
Sir,
elements, and
16.
in that particular case that will give you 16. But here A is a pointer. What do you mean by that? A is a pointer. This is an array pointer. Then what does
Yes,
it
sir.
mean? That means size of A is
Big
nothing but 4,
4.
because the
Yes,
size.
sir.
Okay, আমি তোমাদের কি বলছি, ডিফারেন্ট ওয়েতে ঘুরিয়ে দিতে পারে, কিন্তু যদি তুমি দেখো তার আগে স্টার আছে এবং সেটা যদি সাইজ অফ দ্য পয়েন্টার হয়, তাহলে পয়েন্টারের সাইজ কিন্তু সবসময় 4, মানে 4 বলাটা ভুল, সাইজটা হচ্ছে সাইজ অফ ইন্টিজার। আমরা ধরছি সাইজ অফ ইন্টিজার ইজ 4 বাইট, দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমি বলছি সেটা 4 বাইট। ওকে, and the thing is that you should remember the thing. Now আমি এটা তোমাদের আগেও বলেছিলাম যে how can you assign a 1000 room array with value 0 in a single statement. That means if you want to, if you can say want to, you can say assigned a 1000 room array with value 0. That means there is an array, and you can say that is a 1000 room. That means it will be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, dot 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 dot, and you have to assign each room with 0. Then normally what you can do, normally you can do like that, for I equals to 0, say I less than 1000, I plus plus, and you are writing ai is equals to 0, then automatically, but it will take 2 statement at least. By using only one statement, how can we assign that? আমি এটা বলেছিলাম, যদি আমি একটা a thousands নিই and within the second bracket we are assigning 0, আমি যদি ফার্স্টটা 0 দিই এবং বাকি সবকটা এটি এলিমেন্ট অটোমেটিক্যালি অ্যাসাইন হয়ে যাবে 0 দিয়ে। অথবা আরেকটা প্রসিডিউর আছে যেটা তোমাদের এখনো বলা হয়নি, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য স্ট্যাটিক, আমরা পরে ডিসকাস করব। আমি যদি স্ট্যাটিক হচ্ছে একটা স্টোরেজ ক্লাস, আমরা যদি স্ট্যাটিক ইন্ট এ thousands লিখি, then automatically due to static is, you can say that is the storage class, that is nothing but storage class, and automatically it is assigned with 0, because the initial value of static is 0. Initial value of static is 0, so that's why we can assign 0 like that. Now say we're writing a program like that, just tell me what should be the output. Say integer star is the element are given, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Say integer star p, that is a plus 4, we are writing for p is greater than equals to a, this is p minus minus, printf percent d a p minus a. So if this is given, then what should be the output of your program? সৃজা বলো দেখি। ওকে, দেখো এই অঙ্কগুলো যখন করবে, ইট ইজ অলওয়েজ বিন বেটার টু ড্র দ্য ডায়াগ্রাম ইনিশিয়ালি, পরের দিকে তুমি নিজেই করতে পারবে। সো in that particular case, what will happen, of course this is an array like that. This is, you can say 10, 20, this is 30, this is 40, and this is 40, and this is the A0 locations, A1, this is A2, this is A3, this is A4. Now the thing is that since it is a pointer, it is given this is a pointer. What does it mean? A will contain, say this is a 100, this location is 104, this is 108, this is 112, this is 116. So A will contain 100 and it will be pointing like
So
that.
point to the array.
Yes, and the second
P যখন বলছি initially P is 100 plus 116 অবধি যাবে।
yes, the P will contain, because this is a plus 4, that means 100 plus 4 multiplied 4, that means 116. That means P will contain 116 and it will pointing this. Now of course the P is greater than A, up to this for loop will be acting, that means value of P is 116 when it is greater than equals to 100. যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত এই কন্ডিশন স্যাটিসফাই করবে, your program is running, and every time it will be decremented, and you are printing the value of A P minus A. Now what do you mean by that? A, this is P, P is 116, A is 100, and since we are dividing it, we are dividing with 4 because
so A of 4, so 50 print করবে প্রথমে।
yes, তার মানে it will print 50. So first,
so 50 then 40 then 30 then
একদম, তার মানে 50, এবং পরবর্তীকালে কি হবে, এর ভ্যালু কমে যাবে, এর ভ্যালু কমে গেলে now if you say in the next step what will happen, in the next step this P will be decremented and P will be pointing 112, so it will be pointing like that. So again it will be checked that 112 is greater than equals to 100, this condition is satisfied. Again it will print A P minus A, so A P is nothing but 112
A
minus
112 minus 100 by 4, so
Yes.
A of 3,
A of 3, so it will print 40.
40.
So output is like that, 40, this is 30, this is 20 and 10, and after when it is printing 10, then the value of P will be decremented, and say it will be decremented to 96, and this is greater than equals to 100, this condition is not satisfied, so your program will stop. So the output is like that. Okay, so the thing is, বাকিটা বুঝতে পেরেছো? সমৃদ্ধ বোঝা গেছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ওকে, ভেরি গুড। যদি বোঝা যায় তাহলে ধরো যদি তোমায় একটা এরকম প্রোগ্রাম দিই, দ্যাট ইজ কল অ্যারে অফ পয়েন্টার্স, অ্যারে অফ pointers, and the thing is that say we are writing like that, and say integer A is given 0 1 2 3 4, and say integer star P, that is also an array, but this particular array will contain the address of each element, A plus 1, A plus 2, A plus 3, a plus 4. That's why this is called array of pointer. That means this is an array and itself it will contain the address of another array, and we are writing integer say star star ptr is equals to p, and say that is globally declared. That means after integer main, whatever written before main, that means globally it can access by anyone. We are printing say %d %d a star a. We are printing %d say %d p star p and star p, and say we are printing say %d %d. This is ptr say star ptr say star ptr, and then we are incrementing ptr plus plus, and we are printing %d say %d, and that is ptr minus p say star ptr minus a, and say star. Let's say up to this, then we will extend it little bit. So now what will happen? What is the diagram? This is an a, say this is an array. ভালো করে দেখবে, বোঝার চেষ্টা করবে. This is an array A, and you know this particular array will contain 0. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and say the address of an array is 100. So the next is 104, it is 108, this is 112, this is 116, and of course the index is, you know, this is A0, this is A1, this is A2, this is A3, and this is A4. Now what will happen? P is also an array, and it will array of pointer. That means why it is named as array of pointer, because you just remember that it will always store the address of A. That means we are considering an address. You just see what I am writing here. So P, and there is, it will contain A. A means 100. What is A plus 1? That means the next location's address is 104, next is 108, next is 112, and the next is 116. What does it mean? That means this will pointing this will pointing next locations, this will pointing this locations, this will pointing this locations, this will pointing this locations. And of course, if this is a pointer, that means if say the starting address is 200, then the next is 204, next is 208, next is 200, because integer, because size of the pointer is nothing but the size of the memory address, size of the memory address is nothing but the size of integer, and in that particular case we take that the size of integer is 4 byte. So this is also 112 and 260. Now we are declaring this is complete part, this is completed. Now this is a star ptr. আমি কি বলেছিলাম? স্টার ptr মানে দিস ইনডিরেকশনস, মানে আমাকে দুবার ডিরেফারেন্সিং করতে হবে অ্যাকচুয়াল ভ্যালুটা পেতে গিয়ে, তাই জন্য আমায় ডবল স্টার দেওয়া আছে। মানে ডবল স্টার মানে বলতে হয় আমাকে প্রথমে এখানে ঢুকতে হবে, তারপর আমাকে যদি অ্যাকচুয়াল ভ্যালু করতে হয় তার মানে আমার এখানে পেতে হবে, তারপরে আবার এখানে যেতে হবে, তাই জন্য ডবল স্টার। তার মানে আমি যদি ptr নিই, ptr ও একটা ভেরিয়েবল, ধরে নাও this is a ptr, and ptr will store the value of p. Value of p মানে base address of this, তার মানে ptr will pointing this location. So this is the pictorial diagram of this. Now the thing is that is the thing, and we are printing the first case, we are printing a and star a. So Of course, you can say that the value of A and the value of star A. What is the value? That means this is nothing but, you can say, base address. This is nothing but, you can say, base address of A. In that particular case, it will print 100, and star A, that means this is nothing but, जो जोगेश कहा है, it is nothing but the value of A0 location, value at A means A0 location, that will print 0. That is nothing but that. Now we are printing P. So printing P means, you can say that it will print the base address of P. Base address of P is 200. This is nothing but 200. This is nothing but base address of P. What is star P? That means value at P. It is value at P. So value at P is nothing but 100 in that case, because we are printing the value at P, and value of P is, in that particular case, is nothing but 100. So what we can say, that value at P, that means value at P is nothing but, you can say, 100. So the thing is that, and this is a double star P. What do you mean by double star? That means star, this is means value at P. So it is star, value at P means value at 200. Value at 200 means 100. That means again star, that means value at 100. Value at 100, that means 0. So double star P is printing 0. Okay. So now the PTR. PTR is nothing but the value of PTR, because this is a PTR, the content of the PTR, that is nothing but, you can say, this is content of PTR, and content of PTR is nothing but, you can say, 200. Now star PTR, what does mean by star PTR? That means value at 200. Value at 200 is nothing but 100. That will print you 100. And this is a double star PTR. Double star PTR, that means 1 star, and this 1 star means 100. That means
0.
Yes, value at 100, that means that will print you 0. তুমি মজার ব্যাপারটা দেখো, আমি কিন্তু পয়েন্টার ইউজ করে আমি দেখো একই জিনিসই প্রিন্ট করছি। ডবল স্টার পি দিয়েও 0 প্রিন্ট হচ্ছে, ডবল স্টার পিটিআর দিয়েও 0 প্রিন্ট হচ্ছে, স্টার এ দিয়েও 0 প্রিন্ট হচ্ছে, A0 দিয়েও 0 প্রিন্ট হচ্ছে। পয়েন্টারের এটাই গড়বড় এবং এটাই আনন্দ, মানে তোমায় খুব কেয়ারফুলি এটাকে অবজার্ভ করতে হবে, আদারওয়াইজ মুশকিল। আমি বেশি করালে মাথাটা একদম খারাপ হয়ে যাবে। তো দ্য থিং ইজ দ্যাট, এটা কিন্তু একটুখানি ভাবতে হবে। এবারে দেখো, জাস্ট এইটা করে আমি এইটাকে আপাতত আজকের জন্য তোমায় থামাবো। দ্যাট ইজ what we can say in that particular case PTR plus plus. So PTR plus plus means the diagram should be like that. You just see PTR plus plus মানে PTR টা ইনক্রিমেন্ট করেছে, তার PTR টা ইনক্রিমেন্ট করে কি হবে, PTR একটা পয়েন্টার, তার মানে A ইনক্রিমেন্ট করে এখানে যাবে, তার মানে in the next case PTR will contain 2004 because it is the location is 2004, PTR টা contain করছে 2004. In that case what we are writing, that PTR minus P, we are writing PTR minus P. So PTR minus P যখন লিখছো, so you can say what is the value of PTR. PTR কি আছে, PTR এ আছে 2004. So we are writing 204, and P means the base address of P, that is 200. Base address of P is 200, and since we are divided by 4, we are subtractions it, that means the result should be 1. Now if we write star PTR minus A, what is the star PTR? That means value at PTR, and you can say the value at ptr, that means in that particular case that is a 204 and value at 204 is 104. What do you mean by this? That means star of means, you know, that means value at ptr. So value at ptr will contain 204 after increment, that means 104. That means star ptr is 104 and a is nothing but the base address of a, that is 100. So and since we are doing pointer, so it will give you 1. And this is a star ptr. So star ptr, you just say star ptr. You just remember 1 star, that means value at ptr.
এটা 1 হবে।
Yes, that is also 1 because value at ptr is, you can say value at 204. Value at 204 means star of 100, that means you can say value at 104. And if you see the array, value at 104, that is nothing but 1. So it will also print 1. So hope so that this is the concept of pointer, এবং যত ডিপে যাবে তত জিনিসগুলোকে আরো ভালো করে বুঝতে হবে। তবে আমি তোমায় ডিপেই নিয়ে গেছি যতটা সম্ভব, আরো ভেতরে ঢুকতে হবে। আই এম গিভিং ইউ দ্য হোম টাস্ক, এখানে দিচ্ছি না, আমি হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে পাঠাবো। এই প্রোগ্রামটারই এক্সটেনশন আমরা এতদূর পর্যন্ত করেছো, বাকি আরো পার্ট আছে, সেটা বাড়িতে ভালোভাবে করবে। প্রোগ্রাম রান না করিয়ে হাতে করে করার চেষ্টা করবে। তারপর তো প্রোগ্রাম রান করালে ঠিক আছে, বাট হাতে করে যদি না করো পরীক্ষায় হলে কিন্তু করতে পারবে না। কারণ পরীক্ষাতে কিন্তু বা যখন কোডিংয়ে তোমাদের ইন্টারভিউ নেবে তখন কিন্তু ওরা হাতে করে কোড রান করিয়ে করাবে না। সো দ্য বেস্ট থিং ইজ আই এম গিভিং ইউ দ্য রেস্ট অফ দ্য থিং in WhatsApp. Please do that and go through the thing that we covered today. এটা কিন্তু দেখে ভালো করে কভার করো।
sir